All right, Lion families, Coach Rhodes just wanted to get some information out to the players and the parents about recruiting, and also wanted to let parents and players know that we will have a parent-player meeting. This is for all football players, rising ninth graders, and the entire team. We'll do that on February 5th. It'll be a Zoom meeting, February 5th, and I'll send that out on Remind. I think I've already sent a Zoom link. But we will have a parent-player meeting February 5th where I'll go in a little greater detail about what I'm about to talk about, which is, the recruiting checklist and, how do I get recruited, and, questions, that I get from coaches so that parents and players both understand. And then, what happens when coaches actually visit and they want to talk with kids. But first, I want to, deal with the grades. A couple things, parents, players need to know they got to have a 2.5 GPA. There are NCAA standards and there are NAIA standards and there's junior college standards. But the best thing for any player is to have the highest GPA they could possibly have, but it starts at a 2.5. 2.5 is the standard for NCAA, and although some schools don't require an SAT or an ACT, you should also take your SAT, ACT. And this information is going out to our rising 10th and rising 11th and 12th graders. 10th graders, of course, this would be great for you as well, because it's never too early to get started, especially on your grades. But this is the rising juniors and the rising seniors should have this information already completed, particularly, of course, the GPA and then the NCAA eligibility number. You should have that in a highlight tape. But just to continue with the checklist, is the 2.5 GPA. You need to have an NCAA eligibility ID number, which you have to go to the NCAA to register for, and that's actually on our website. I'll have all this information here for you. And there are core classes worksheet that we have available for parents on a website that you can take a look at the core classes that you have to take that are required for NCAA to be NCAA eligible. But the main thing, of course, is the GPA. And then the other part of the recruiting checklist is, of course, you need to be able to play, at the collegiate level. How do you get recruited? There's a way that what parents and the players can actually do. Of course, you want to be the best player, on the field. That certainly helps. But what you can do, of course, is to make a highlight tape. If you haven't gotten a lot of film yet, that's okay. Just if you got time here, if you're a rising sophomore or junior, you want to make sure that you have a highlight tape. Of course, as I said before, academically eligible. And then, of course, you need to pass the eye test. And these college recruiters, kids at the collegiate level that play football, they're very big. And I don't care if it's Division III, Division II, or Division I, they're very big. And they are very fast. That is what, when you're passing the eye test at any one of the positions, I don't care if you're a lineman to a defensive back, you have to be very big and you have to be very fast. That's what these colleges are looking for when you're playing football at the next level. Those players at the next level, and I don't care if it's Division III, they are very, very good. And it takes a complete and total commitment on the player to decide to want to play football, because it's a serious demand at the collegiate level. But go to camps. Go to places where you think you can play. If you feel like you can play at JMU, go to their camp. But be cautiously optimistic. Okay, so when you go to these camps, the purpose for these colleges is to get as many kids on their campus as they can. They want to take a look at the talent, they do, but they also want to make money. So they're gonna be real chummy with you. Be very friendly with you, talk with you, know your name, get your information. They'll do that, and then you won't hear from them again. Sometimes. unless you were a standout at the camp. And that means that you finished in one of, top two at the camp. They'll continue to contact you. They may even pull you in for, a visit. But that's typically how it works, is to pull talent in at their campuses, see what they got. And if a kid performs extremely well, in a 40, running a 4.3, 4.4, 40 electric, very good shuttle time. The kid is standing over 6'2" or 6'3" or bigger, depending on the position. That's what they're looking for. So it could get you, an opportunity to be, a little closer evaluated. But just know that those camps are to make money. But I do encourage you to go. If you feel like you can play there, go to their camp and see how well you test out. We've had quite a few colleges that came in here, as we did last year and the year before. They've been in here and they ask me questions. And the first question they ask is, of course, the grades. And if you don't have the grades, they're going to move on. How big is, the kid? And then, if you pass the eye test, they'll continue. They want to take a look at the film. They look at the film if they feel like he's one of the top two. And I used to say one of the top two players at their position in the region. It's not the case anymore. The transfer portal has changed everything. So it is extremely difficult, much more difficult for a high school kid to be offered a full ride scholarship. Now, there are very few at the FBS, FCS, our Power Five and Group of Five schools. There, it's Division I is extremely hard, very much harder before the transfer portal to get a college scholarship. And this is the same for any position. So it doesn't matter if you're a kicker or a long snapper. If it's a place that you feel like you can play, go there, show what you can do, and then look, that's a way into, in the door they can see. So if you feel like you can, punt or kick, and you want to, you can kick at ODU, go to their camp. Go to their camp. That's the best way to do it. So those are the questions I get. The other thing too that I really want to stress here, and I hope this video, I know it's a little long, but I want parents and players to know that when these college coaches come in here and they get to meet and shake the hand of these kids, and we got Leland Hudick is a very good football player. I'm just using him as an example, but let's just say that Leland Hudick was being recruited. These guys, there's 1,000 of Leland. There's 1,000 Lelands out there that are being recruited. Leland needs to set itself apart from the other 1,000 that these schools are recruiting, and he can do that by making himself presentable to the coaches that have the hands that he's shaking. Shake their hand firm, look him in the eye, speak like a man, make sure that you don't have these lazy shoes on, but you got, tennis shoes on, you look presentable, your hair looks nice, you look presentable. Those things actually mean something. And I'm just trying to help, kids understand that, you are shaking the hand of another man, and that is a part of their evaluation process. They want to see how you respond, how you talk, and how communicate, and how you look and present yourself. They want to know these things. Those are sort of some things that can set you apart from the other 1,000 that they're recruiting. So do everything that you can to show up to school every single day, dressed presentable. And I said, they don't want to see Crocs, they don't want to see flip flops, they don't want to see pajama bottoms. That's just a fact. They want to see a kid that looks like he's ready to walk on a college campus and succeed. So you need to dress and look and act the part. It's extremely important. So that's a good way to help yourself if you are being recruited, or when these coaches do come in and you get the opportunity to sit down with them. Make sure that you're presentable. But I'll go over more of this here in the February 5th parent-player meeting. Please go to the website. I've got the entire schedule up on the website, all the way up until our first game. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. It's all up there for our workout dates and what we have scheduled and what's to come. Please take a look at the go to our website to find out any information that you need about what we're doing. Rising ninth graders are the only ones that are considered JV now. Rising 10th graders, rising 11th graders, rising 12th graders are all considered varsity right now. So when we make reference to it, please understand that the rising ninth graders, they're not in the program yet. They're not here. They will be. But those are the only ones that are be considered JV. Rising ninth graders, that's it. Everyone else are varsity. They're in this building, they're considered varsity. They're near Oriole, they're considered varsity. Just want to get that information out. So please see the website. Please make sure that you guys are doing what you need to do on your part of taking care of your grades, working out hard, making yourself better, physically, and academically, so that you make yourself attractive for these coaches. Lion pride, lion proud.